Marhaba, ahalem everybody. We are in Egypt right now. We are going to make papyrus paper, which is like something that they would have used back a long time ago, and they would use their hieroglyphics on. So you guys got a little piece of paper that looks like this with some wax paper inside, and then you also got a sheet that looks like this that shows the letters and their sounds. So, and they used, instead of using the letters, they used pictures. So we're going to make our paper today, and then we're gonna let it dry overnight, and then tomorrow we will write our names and draw pictures on top of the paper. So this is gonna be a two-part video. So we're gonna do one today, and then we're gonna do one tomorrow, because you're gonna have to let this dry. So, what else you're gonna need, you guys need your little brush that we've given you. And then I'm guessing you have lots of leftover Mod Podge. So you're gonna need that as well. If you didn't save this, regular glue will work just as well. So, and then you're gonna need a bowl with like some water. So I'm gonna move this down so you guys can see what I'm doing here. So this is my little bowl of water, and I'm gonna take, you're also gonna need some scissors as well. So I'm gonna take my glue and I'm just gonna pour it inside the water. This is for those of you that have made like piñatas with us before. It's just like paper mache basically, okay? So you're gonna take your glue and your water and just be really careful. This is a good outdoor activity too. Okay, so it's just kind of, you want it to be gluey, but runny. Okay, so the water should be white. All right, so what you're gonna do then, that's all you really need for that. You're gonna take your wax paper out, and this is gonna be, like I said, kind of messy, so do it someplace where mom would be okay with you making a mess. And you're gonna lay down that wax paper, okay? And I'm just gonna put a little bit on top of that so I don't spill it. Then you're gonna take your paper bag, just like this, okay? And you're just gonna cut it into about 1-inch strips. So I'm just gonna take these, I'm just gonna cut it down. Can you see that? Just like this. And they don't have to be perfect, just get them cut. So that they're in half into 2 pieces like that. Okay, and then you're just gonna kind of, I'm gonna cut that little piece and that little piece. Okay, and we're gonna start by just cutting these into about 1-inch strips like this. You can even cut off that bottom one. I think that's just gonna be kind of a pain for me, so I'm just gonna cut it off. And I'm just gonna cut them, you know, about that 1-inch strip like that. Going. Okay, so I have one side done like this, and then the other side I'm gonna use a little bit later. So, but I'm gonna cut it now because I'm gonna get dirty. So I'm gonna cut off this bottom, put that away, and then I'm just gonna kind of cut these just like I did with the other side, but I'm gonna put them in a separate spot so that I know that those are going to be the top layer. Okay, keep going like that. And same with this activity. Okay, now comes the messy part. So like I said, you have to do it on this wax paper. You don't want to do it on a plate. I mean, you could do it on a plate, but the wax paper has to be on top or else it will stick. So what you're gonna do is you're just gonna kind of stick these, get them good and wet, like you would do with their paper mache, and you're just gonna lay it down, and then you're gonna overlap them on top of each other. So they're gonna lay right on top of each other, just like that, okay? Not too much. Okay. You don't want any like cracks in between. Make sure they're completely wet. Okay, maybe about just like that. Okay, and then let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'll do one more of these. Okay, so just like that. All right, and then you're just gonna let that sit there. And then you're gonna take your other ones and you're gonna go over top of this, okay? So but you're gonna go the opposite way. So we're gonna go this way, up and down. Don't wanna be dripping, just like that. I should move these up a little bit so I'm not dripping. Okay, just like that. Keep going. And I might even, let's see, I might even rip off some of these on the top too and move them up because I'm gonna run out of paper here. Okay, let's try this again. Bring them so they're all the way at the bottom. Let's try that. Okay. And then just rip off those top parts and lay those on top like that. Keep going. It doesn't have to be perfect. That's the kind of the cool thing about this paper is that it wasn't perfect paper because they didn't have the machines like we do to make paper like we do today. So I'm gonna just kind of measure that out now. Put that on top. Do that. And one more like that. So as you can see, that is your paper. Now, obviously it's not done. It's gonna have to dry. But if you can see, it kind of looks like the paper they would have used back then, kind of like a buried treasure paper like we were using from before. And what you're gonna do is you're just gonna let that dry. Don't touch it, don't move it. You might wanna make sure there's no bubbles or anything like that on it, but just let it sit overnight, put it in a safe place. And then just let that dry. And then tomorrow we will do the rest of the activity that goes with this. So that is it. Have fun. Send us your pictures. Salam, which means goodbye.